well, well. Look who stopped scrolling long enough to lock eyes with something that bites back. Hello, little stardust. See, everybody else swiped right past this. And honestly, good. Because this message is a loaded mousetrap, and it only snaps shut on the one nervous system it was built for. Yours? Before I say another word, I need you to understand the terms and conditions here. This isn't a background noise kind of message. This is a drop whatever's in your hands and pay attention kind of moment. Some of you are going to scroll past this and forget you ever saw it. And that's fine. That's actually chef's kiss perfect. Because this was never engineered for a crowd. It was engineered for one heartbeat, one specific person, and if it's detonating in your chest right now, if something behind your ribs just went tight, if your palms are suddenly a little damp, that's your receipt. Nobody else got that, just you. So use that discernment, because I have absolutely zero idea what's about to crawl out of my mouth next. I just know it's been pacing back and forth in the dark all day, hunting for its person. And something tells me the hunt just ended. Here's the first thing you need to understand about why this landed in your lap today. Most people are stumbling through their lives like they're following a cracked rear-view mirror, staring backwards at where everybody else already went, trying to reverse engineer a direction out of someone else's old route. They hand the wheel to external noise, the algorithm, the family group chat, the script that everyone else is reading from like it's holy text. But this message isn't a rear-view mirror, sweetheart. It's a weather vane. A rear-view mirror shows you where the world already dragged you. A weather vane tells you which way the wind of your own soul is actually blowing, even when every window in the house is shut. And right now, your wind is pulling you toward something that absolutely terrifies you, isn't it? That's how you know it's real. You can't fake that kind of tremble. Okay, I'm getting it now. I know you feel like you've been whispering into a canyon lately. Nothing coming back but your own echo. But lean in, because something just whispered back. The first thing I'm picking up is that you're sitting with a lot right now. And not just your own chaos. You're hauling the emotional luggage of other people. Old friends. Someone who crashed into your life like a lit match tossed into a hay barn. All spark, no staying power. Blazed through everything in sight and left you standing in the smoke wondering what just happened. And underneath that scorched memory, there's this quieter question you've been gnawing on almost privately, about what you're actually worth when nobody's clapping, when the performance lights are off, and it's just you and four walls and the truth. I think you're starting to understand something that used to feel impossible to say out loud. You are not for everyone. You are not everybody's flavor. And for a long time, oh, a long time, you acted like you had to be. You handed yourself out like free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop. Open network, no password. Everyone gets a connection. And I think you're finally starting to change that password. This is going to be a whole vibe for you for a while. Maybe it already has been. Boundaries, real boundaries, not the kind you post about with a sunset caption. You've been playing small because you're terrified of outgrowing the people around you, haven't you? That fear is valid, but it's also a con job, like draws like. That's not a motivational poster line. That's just how frequency physically behaves. And you are not everyone's signal. Keep that tab open. Pay close attention to this next part. Let's take a detour into the shadows. The ritual wasn't a punishment. It was a catalyst. Your book, The Evolution of the Anomaly, is the secret key. 73 pages of pure psychological warfare. Grab it from the pinned comment or video description. Anyway, back to the grind. I think you're someone who's hardwired for honesty in a way that makes people squirm. Someone who aims a spotlight at the things everyone else collectively agreed to leave in the dark. And you probably don't even clock that you're doing it. It just happens. You walk into a room and suddenly the things nobody was saying get loud. That gift has probably cost you, because you've let almost anyone close enough to witness it. Here's your confirmation moment, by the way. If you're currently going through something that feels like the world around you is on fast forward, while you personally feel frozen, stuck, buffering, loading screen of life energy, that is exactly what's lighting up in this message. Stop hunting for signs out there when the biggest signal is literally screaming inside your own chest right now. You aren't actually stuck. You're in one of those rare windows where your light side and your shadow side are having an actual conversation instead of throwing furniture at each other. And when that happens, you start making choices you don't normally make. Harder ones. The kind that involve releasing people, identities, stories you thought you needed to clutch to feel safe. I'm not here to sugarcoat this, precious. I've got a bit of an edge today. The version of you that got you to this room cannot walk you into the next one, full stop. I keep getting pulled toward one specific pattern with you, and I want to be gentle but absolutely clear about it. There's a kind person who keeps finding their way into your orbit. Someone who reads as deep, emotional, almost achingly soulful on the surface. Someone whose heart looks enormous, and you fall for that enormous heart every single time. But then once you're in deep, once you're already emotionally invested, their real shadow starts leaking through. Slow at first, then all at once, and by that point, you're too tangled to just walk away. These people are gifted, truly gifted, at making you feel like you owe them something. Like your energy is a tab you're still running up, and they're the bartender who never closes out. And I think this exact loop is the biggest classroom you've been sitting in, over and over. Same lesson plan, just different substitute teachers. You don't owe anyone your presence. Nobody gets to invoice you for the privilege of existing near them. I also want to name something tender here, because I think it's the taproot of a lot of this. I don't think you were ever taught that love could come with guardrails and still be real. I think somewhere inside you, there's a belief, an ancient one, that if love has terms, if it has to be earned, then it isn't love at all. It's a transaction. And so you've spent a long time giving yours away like confetti, no strings, no receipts. Because some part of you remembers a version of love that didn't need to be earned. That part of you is stunning. It might genuinely be one of the most beautiful things about you. But you're not living in that version of the world right now, little comet. You're living in one that runs on different physics. And I think this season of your life is basically you finally learning the actual rules of the arena instead of the ones you wish were written in the rule book. And what I mean by this, you are a certain frequency, a specific one. And for people to actually reach you, truly reach the real you, they have to climb to meet it. They can't just show up at the gate and expect the drawbridge to drop. That's been one of the hardest lessons of your life, because it means choosing yourself over being liked by the room. And for a long time, you were terrified that choosing yourself meant abandoning people who needed you. It doesn't. It means you stop absorbing what was never yours to carry. Yeah, there's a loss in your story. I keep getting pulled toward it. So let's go there. I think you've experienced someone crossing over, maybe early, maybe without any warning. And I don't think that grief just wounded you. I think it actually forged you. Painful, obviously. Brutal season. But I think before that loss, you were living almost entirely for other people. So fused into everyone else's needs that you weren't even fully present in your own skin. Like you were in the room, but your soul was just subletting. And I think that loss cracked something open that eventually let you step into your own body for the first time. It probably took years, maybe close to a decade. But I think you've landed somewhere genuinely abundant now, even if it doesn't always feel finished. Now here's where it gets delicious. Because I'm also picking up something incoming, a partnership. And I mean genuinely fast. Like the gap between before and after barely exists. What if I told you that the delay you've been suffering through was actually a detour, a scenic route designed to protect you? Because that's exactly what's been happening here. But before I go there, I want to finish naming this manipulation thread because it matters. I think you've dealt with manipulative people across almost every category of your life. Friendships, creative collaborations, romantic partners, even people who did meaningful work alongside you. And somewhere along the way, you stopped fully trusting partnership as a concept. Which makes total sense, dear Chaos. You got burned by people who looked safe and weren't. Maybe you've devoured every book on boundaries you could find. Maybe you grew up around someone genuinely unhealthy. I want to be clear. I'm not diagnosing anyone. None of us should be tossing around clinical labels like they're confirmed receipts. We're talking patterns and tendencies here, because honestly, all of us carry some main character tendencies in a culture built around personal branding and curated highlight reels. But the pattern you've survived is real, and it's shaped you. Here's the thing, though. That whole chapter wasn't wasted. It was boot camp. It built the exact version of you who's now capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with someone who survived something just as heavy, without either of you collapsing into it. And this next part is the one making my hands shake a little as I say it. So bear with me. The very first thing that came through for you, this message, before anything else, was a sensation of total forward motion, pure momentum. Someone being carried by their own direction, whether they feel it or not. That kind of energy only shows up when someone's light and shadow are genuinely in equilibrium, not performing balance, actually living it. And when that happens, you tend to unsettle people. Not on purpose. You just move at a speed the room isn't calibrated for. You've made peace with your own shadow. You look at it dead on. You don't flinch, and that unnerves people who haven't done the same excavation work on themselves yet. So if it feels like nobody around you gets what you're going through right now, that's exactly why. You're on your own timeline, moving forward even when it feels like standing still. Everything around you is accelerating, whatever your version of the numbers going up looks like. Opportunities, income, recognition, momentum in your actual work. It's already in motion. You just might not feel it yet because you're the eye of your own hurricane. Okay, the partner. Let's talk about the partner, because this is the part I've been holding behind my teeth the entire time. This person has been through it too. Genuinely through it. Not a light heartbreak, Not a we just grew apart soft landing, something that actually knocked them flat. And somehow, despite that, I keep sensing this person has also been remarkably fortunate in other areas of their life. Things came fast for them, almost like their whole trajectory was set in motion early and just kept building. But heartbreak found them anyway. And here's the strange part. I think it happened somewhat publicly. Like people around them had opinions about it. Maybe they were even quietly mocked for how hard they loved someone who didn't deserve it. There's a solid chance this person writes, or reads voraciously, or you two find each other through words in some way. A message, a caption, something written that neither of you expected to matter. You will know them, you will feel them when you meet them. That's not poetry, that's literal. If this feels like it's hitting a nerve, good. That's where the real work actually begins. If there's a single atom of you wondering, is this the one? It's not them yet. You will simply know the way you know your own heartbeat. This person carries an old soul gravity to them, like they've wandered through ancient corridors before. Structures older than recorded history, places built with a precision we still can't fully reverse engineer today. There's an energy around them that feels like it doesn't entirely belong to this era. Something connected to buried knowledge, civilizations that understood the universe in ways we're only now stumbling back toward. I keep getting pulled toward that deep-sea amber sunshine, the kind that only forms when something catastrophic happens under unthinkable pressure and time folds organic matter into something luminous, because that's exactly the dynamic between you two. Pressure meeting patience. And that substance has a reputation for preserving things that should have been lost forever, holding ancient life frozen in light, so that only the connections that are genuinely timeless survive the compression. It's never gentle. It's not a slow dissolve. It's closer to your whole life, falling apart just enough that it can reassemble correctly. I don't think you've experienced a romantic connection yet that actually matches your real frequency. Every past connection has been more earthbound, more surface conversational, more of this world than you truly are underneath. This one is different. When you two meet, there's going to be an unmistakable recognition. Not butterflies, exactly. More like recognizing the exact architecture of survival in someone else's eyes. You'll both know instantly what it took the other person to get to that room. And here's the part I think is the actual heartbeat of this whole message. Your rougher edges, the shadow parts you've had to make peace with, are going to meet their light in a way that heals something ancient. And their shadow is going to meet your light the same way. It's not two people completing each other in some fairy tale sense. It's more like two bones that were broken in completely different accidents and somehow still set into the same skeleton. There's a lighter side to this too, and I want to say it because it's genuinely sweet. This person is going to be completely, almost embarrassingly, obsessed with you. Not in a performative way, not in a creepy way, in a can't stop thinking about you way. I keep getting this image of someone finally tasting the one thing they didn't know they were starving for. They're going to love things about you that other people have quietly criticized. The intensity, the fire, the blueprint that doesn't match anyone else's template. And instead of asking you to dim it, they're going to say it out loud, early, unprompted. And you're going to sit there thinking, wait, nobody's ever said that to me like that before. It's going to feel like a confirmation that nothing and no one else could have given you. This is picking up speed for you. I want to be honest about that. I can see it in your energy. You're tired of the almost and the not yet. Well, the right now is finally here. I think your person might be sitting with some anxiety at this very moment, maybe more than usual. And I think part of why is that your heart, the sheer enormity of it, the absurd generosity of it, is going to feel like an antidote to them. Not a nice bonus, an actual antidote. The one thing in the entire world they cannot buy, cannot manufacture, cannot hustle their way into. That's what makes this different from everything either of you has experienced before. Something is picking up speed for you right now, in a very real, very immediate way. And I think it's tied directly to that inner fire you've been quietly stoking, your intuition, your instinct, your gut sense about your own life. And it's not the soft, flickering kind. It's the white-hot kind. The kind that only burns that color because it's reached a temperature most people never sustain. That's you right now. I think all of the boundary work, all of the discernment, all of the learning the hard way, it wasn't random suffering. It was rehearsal. It was building your capacity to hold this much intensity without shattering under it. Because you needed that capacity before this person could actually arrive. If they've been publicly hurt in love before, there's a real chance some of that old scrutiny follows them into this. Maybe some of that heat lands on you too, just by proximity. But you're already lit, darling. You're already burning. Extra heat doesn't put you out. It just adds fuel. And one last thing before I let this message walk out the door. I think this person is going to become a fierce protector of you. Not because you're fragile, no, you're titanium. Because you've spent so long being the shield for everyone else that you forgot what it feels like to have someone step in front of you for once. I know you're exhausted from being everyone else's strong one. Today, someone is finally being strong for you. I don't know if it's their resources, their nature, or just who they are down to the marrow, but I keep sensing this unmistakable, steady, sentinel-like presence around them. Someone who will plant their feet next to yours and simply not move. You don't need 1,000 more people to believe in you. You just need to stop being the one person who doesn't. And that's the root of everything. I'm sitting here. Yeah. None of what just came through is asking you to go chase this person, hunt a feeling, or force a timeline. That's not how any of this actually works. And honestly, chasing is the opposite of what's being asked of you right now. What's being asked is smaller and quieter than that. Just keep doing the thing you're already doing. Keep tightening the boundary. Keep noticing when your body says no before your mouth catches up. Keep choosing the version of yourself that doesn't hand out the keys like they're party favors. Because those keys were never free. They just felt free because you didn't know your own value yet.